Hey everybody, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and I'm super psyched to be catching up with Chris Bay. Hello.
Hello, it's me, Chris Bay, the person that nobody knows. Yeah, I'm doing a live call right now. Perfect timing. Live, bud. Yeah, we're live.
We're live. Live and rolling.
The greatest intro ever. It's in now. We're live.
I feel like we should just roll with it.
I love it. That's how I love my life. I love it we got to roll with the punches. It's great.
Well, how are you doing? How are you coping with everything going on? Are you keeping your sanity over there?
Yeah, it's weird. The world is weird right now. It's a scary time. It's a very scary time. I implore everyone to follow protocol and stay clean and stay in the house and don't make this harder than it has to be for all of us, But hopefully we can get it back on track. I tweeted yesterday, I miss how the world was 2 weeks ago. It's weird. Yeah. But I hope everybody's safe. I hope, to all the people who we've lost so far and their families, my condolences definitely go out. And I hope we get this figured out and so we can start saving some people. Bottom line.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there. It's devastating. And at the same time now, it's just trying your best to stay positive, pushing forward, and sticking to the rules that they're really putting out for us. Because I think if we stick to those, hopefully it'll better everyone's chances of just staying healthy. So, yeah. Well, what have you been doing? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I said I agree, yeah.
Well, over the last few days, most people have been self-quarantined. So what have you been doing to make things feel a little bit less painful of just being stuck in your house 24/7? You mentioned how you were going to be cooking fairly soon. So is that something you've been doing a lot of?
Something I hope to start doing more, actually. This is my time to do that. I'm usually not home a lot, even before the signing, and my schedule got more busy. I was more so outside of the house. I don't really stay in the house too often. And I just moved into a new place 2 weeks ago, so this kind of gave me a chance to wind down and get everything together. So cooking something that I want to start dabbling in and learning how to cook more things. I'm using this time to really work on the music that I've been writing and stuff like that, and work on the new EP. Think of new spots for in the ring and new ideas that I want to do in the ring that I can put into creative usage once the space is available again to go test those things out. I like to, I got books around me, so I'm saying my couple books on there. Just friends to give me books to read, so I like to check out books. Trying to fill this time with other stuff. I got addicted to candles, so it's getting weird.
You got addicted to candles. Have you just been ordering a ton of random flavors or scents? I guess they're not flavors, but
yeah. Well, I eat them. That's how bad it's getting. So they are flavors to me. I'm eating candles now.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. Joke.
That's what we've come to.
That's what we've come to. It's the quarantining. It's a bunch of scents. I've just been getting them and trying new things, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like, and finding time to something to occupy this time without it being feel like, instead of feeling like I'm trapped, I try to feel like I have things to do. I got the Disney Plus app, watching Hannah Montana.
Smart.
Season 1 or 2.
Good way to kill time.
Don't judge me off that one, but season 1's got me right here every episode, so killing time.
A lot of crying and beautiful scents. That's what your last few days have been.
Yeah, but it's happier than it sounds. It's happier than it sounds. I promise you that.
Okay.
I promise I'm not going to get off this call and go cry. I promise.
Right. I hope not.
If I do, it'll be tears of joy.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Now, one thing you had mentioned there is signing and how busy that has made you recently. And so I have to say congratulations on signing with Impact Wrestling. A lot of fans, when a wrestler, you're welcome. A lot of fans, when a wrestler is independent, you know how it is. They buzz. They're the rumors. They're like, where are they going to end up? Blah, blah, blah. So for you, what kind of brought you to that promotion? Why was that the spot you decided, hey, this is where it's going to be?
I have had a very high respect and admiration for Impact Wrestling. When I was younger, I was a fan of TNA Impact, and I bought the belts and the couple action figures and the DVDs. And for me, I was a fan of all wrestling, so I had a chance on 205 Live. I had done Ring of Honor matches maybe 2 or 3 times. I can't remember the exact number. And then I had done Impact maybe 5 or 6 times at the time. And after experiences all 3 places, I just felt like for me the place that I felt the most comfortable was Impact Wrestling. They have a really good roster, and it's very underappreciated. You know, like people try to keep these old attachments of what it used to be and all the hardships that they've gone through over the last maybe 10 years or so. And people will try to keep that attached to it and use that as an excuse not to watch it. Well, the reason why I wanted to come over was that I have my own fan base, and I don't want to steal from another company's fan base. So I don't want to just show up somewhere a nobody and just start to take on their fan base, because when I leave that place, they're not going to come with me, you know?
Right. So it's better to grow organically with somewhere.
Exactly. And I feel like by me going to Impact, now I'm opening eyes to what we already had at Impact before I got there, where people were missing out on all this quality action of all these top stars, and people don't watch it for some random reason. But now hopefully my goal is that not only am I most comfortable there, not only do I want to be the X Division champion, I want to be the world champion, so that I can look back at 10 years ago when I was on YouTube making videos with the Impact World Championship replica belt. Moments like those that I want to bring full circle. But
you can have the real one.
And yeah, you know, like people.
What it's all about.
That's what it's all about. And my time here is short. My time here, as I mean that, is like wrestling, because I don't want to wrestle forever. So like I want to maximize this time and go everywhere I wanted to be. And right now, I wanted to be in Impact Wrestling, and this is where I'm at. So I'm very happy to be there. Very fortunate to be there. Like I said, our locker room is crazy. Like best talent out there. You know what I'm saying? Like the young guys, the older people, like. The knockouts, it's Tessa being world champion, like, you know, it's history over there. So we're about to make some finesse history real soon.
Well, congratulations once again. That's something really cool that people are doing online. Are these little me, are these side by sides where, you know, you put an image of a wrestler you really would love to get in the ring with, and that person for you was Eddie Guerrero. So was he always your number one when you first started loving wrestling 10 years ago, when you were posting those videos, when you actually stepped into the ring? He your number one?
Eddie's always number one. It's when we lost him, and once again, just the phrase when we lost him, because Eddie was not just someone that passed away and his family was hurt. You know, like the world was kind of shook off that. And for me, what was I at the time? Probably about 7 years old, maybe 8 or 9.
Yeah, I think we're the same age, so I think I was around like 7 or 8 when it happened.
Yes, you know, somewhere around there. Like being around that age, we don't know him, so like, or at least I don't know if you did, but I don't know him, so like, I was very hurt off that. You know, I was very hurt. When I first got into wrestling, Triple H was like the first person I gravitated towards, but Edge, Randy Orton, but Eddie Guerrero over top, like. It was because, once again, we all felt like we knew him. So, like, no matter the fact that he was one of the best wrestlers ever, people love him for his wrestling, but it was his entertainment value and his character work that really pulled through the screen. So, for me, that's exactly why I'm so attached to him and what he did, because it just felt real. His story felt real. I remember there was a summer where my brothers are going to hate for me telling this story, but there was a summer someone ordered porn on the cable, and my mom wasn't happy about it and canceled cable for us that summer. So I spent every day watching the Eddie Guerrero Cheating, Death, Stealing Life DVD. And every day I just rewatched this amazing story of this person, this real human being who had these trials and tribulations and these hardships to get over, and losing his family and the drug addictions and the car accidents and this, that, and the third, and then made it to the top of a business that he's never supposed to. And even at that point in my life, at that age, all the way up until 3 years ago when I started this, people were telling me that I wasn't supposed to do this and that I would never make it, and that it would take me 10 years to get here. It'd take me 3 years to get my first match. It'd take me that long to be seen by WWE, and here we are. Or, you know, whatever. Like, people all my life told me that it was unreal, and I saw it through him, so I was able to manifest that and use that energy and keep pushing forward. It's the reason why I do the frog splash. It's the reason for a lot of my tendencies in the ring. I got some Eddie-inspired gear coming too, so.
That's neat. That's really cool. I definitely feel where you're coming from, because even when it comes to me starting my website, doing TV stuff now, signing with MLW, every step of the way, you always have those doubters, not just trolls, like people in your life sometimes who are like, yeah, that's a bit too big of a dream. That's a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things is when you do accomplish something and those people come back to you and they're
Yeah.
like bugging you for shit. And you're like, bro, come on. Like, has that happened to you yet?
100%. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. A different story. Definitely. It's weird because once again, like I said, nobody really believed it. So now it's funny, like seeing people talk about like, yeah, you was always gonna make it. You were always like, I remember when you
Right.
were. And I want you to sing that. Like there was a specific scenario of a person like the year before I started training to wrestle who was laughing at me on Twitter because I put up a picture of an Intercontinental replica belt I just bought. And it was just like the belt. So I was like, what's funny about this picture? And he was just like, oh, you watch wrestling. And I was like, huh? And then I remember like maybe a year ago, he like was hitting me up, telling me how cool it was that I wrestled and stuff. And I was just like, bro, you think I forgot about when you... But like you said, it's the best and the coolest, and I love
We
it.
never forget.
We never forget. And I think the best part about
Trust
the
me.
revenge is that we don't do it with malice in our heart. We just do it because we love it, you know? And those things just are like icing on the cake, you know? And
Yeah.
congratulations to you, by the way, too. I know you've been with MLW for a little while now, but that was pretty dope. When I saw that, I was pretty stoked for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Trust me, I feel like even though I might not be in the ring as far as wrestling goes, it's very similar paths for working your ass off to get to the point you're at. Well, it's cool hearing you talk about wrestling because you're clearly so passionate about it. But something else you have a great passion for is also music, which you mentioned earlier. You're working on an EP. You have a new single coming out soon. You released Brain Freeze recently. So is music something you have always dabbled in, or is this a passion now that you're kind of getting into more?
Believe it or not, this is all my life. My grandfather was an entertainer. He used to travel the world and sing. He performed with Elvis, like
Oh, wow.
things that kind of always been in my blood. I think I made my first mixtape when I was 7, if we're being real. I recorded my first mixtape when I was like 7. It was like nothing special, but I didn't get back to. And I always like was writing music, and then like for class projects, like English class, whatever, I'd like do like a set of poems. I do like raps and do them for the class or whatever. Like I've always been in the rap, and then I started re-recording again when I was 14 with this group in middle school. They were like staying after school to record, and they were like, yo, you should stay after school. And the funny thing is, the first day I stayed after school to record with them, I was upset because I got the email confirmation that my Impact World title had arrived at my house, and I was staying after school. So I was like, damn, here it is on my front step.
You're just waiting to open that baby up.
Yeah, like that's a real story of how life turns around. But from 14 to age 20, or 21, right before I moved to Vegas, I dropped, I want to say 10 mixtapes that you can't find any of them online anymore because I've deleted them because, of course, obviously. But I put it aside for wrestling because, as we all know, passions cost, and you have to kind of pick and choose at certain times. And for me, I spent the last 3.5 years making sure that I would ensure a successful career and not waste any time that I had in wrestling. But the entire time I was writing. So the entire time I was writing, I probably wrote, like, since I've lived in Vegas, I probably wrote about 300, 400 songs. Yeah, a lot. And I got the EP narrowed down to 8 songs. So Brain Freeze was the first song we just released. I recorded that in June, I want to say, of 2019. And I think I wrote it in about February 2019. So that song's about a year old itself. And then there's some songs that'll be on this EP that are 2-3 years old. There's some that are a couple months old, because I've been doing this for a long time. But this isn't anything new. It's just something I had to put aside so I could focus on wrestling. And then it just seemed like the perfect time now to do both.
Yeah, hey, if you can actually balance all that stuff and make it work for you, then why not? That's literally my side. I interview musicians and I interview wrestlers. I host in music and I host in wrestling because it's the two things I love. So if you can make it work for you, man, then like kudos. It makes it all more fun.
Hey, look, I'm trying to follow in your footsteps. You've been I'm just playing follow the leader at this point.
Something cool is these are very big passions of yours, those two. But a third one, and I did not know of this until like yesterday, was skateboarding. I went back in the archives, and you actually post skateboarding videos. So were you really good at it? Was it something you kind of also had to put to the side because of everything going on?
So once again, the way these things always connect, skateboarding.
Right.
2007, I want to say, I started skateboarding with my best friend back home. And it was the first thing that, because I don't like sports. Like I don't watch football. I don't watch basketball. I don't watch any sports. So like my only thing was wrestling. But I remember watching like Robin Big and Scarred and Viva La Bam. This one, like that era of MTV was hot. And we bought one skateboard. He bought it. His mom bought it for him. And we shared it for like 2 months, like going outside, just like trying to learn stuff together.
Yeah.
And we're spending quality time outside. Eventually, I got my own board that my dad bought for me. And it was off to the races. And we skateboarded together for like the next 6 years until I got to a point where, like you said, whether I was good or not, I was pretty good in that I was pretty good. I know like the way times have changed, athletes are built differently now, so everyone's super good at everything. Like just the skill set, the bar has been raised in every sport. So when I look at skateboarding now, I'm like, geez, I could have never kept up now. But at that time, I feel like I could have made it with another year or two's worth of work. But I did have a moment where, and there's video still on YouTube and stuff on my channel where you could go back where there's a video called "The Skate Dream Is Over," and it basically just talks about how skateboarding has been like real dangerous and a real toll on my body, and I've been injured enough to the point where at the time I was 16 and I wanted to stop and use the next couple of years to heal my body because I did want to be a pro wrestler over everything, and I wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to come a time where I couldn't even try to train to wrestle because of the injury I had skateboarding. When skateboarding, no matter how much of a love it became for me and how much of those 6 years I spent every day to skateboarding and obsessing about skateboarding, wrestling was always the end. So I got to that point where stuff was getting too hard. Now I'm doing 10-stair handrails, and up, and I'm just like, okay, like this is getting pretty dangerous. And all when I'm hurting myself and I'm spraining my wrist, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this
time to take a step back.
Yeah, so then I took the step back, and
I mean, clearly it worked out.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I think so. I still feel some of the pain though. But if you want to see my first match, you can go to YouTube and type in Chris Bay versus 10-stair, and you will see me getting destroyed by a 10-stair, which is exactly what it sounds like, a set of 10 stairs and me trying to do a trick down it and just eating shit every time it is. One of my first viral videos, I guess. Man,
that sounds brutal.
It was very brutal. Very brutal.
Jeez.
I remember getting home, putting my World Heavyweight Championship on my shoulder, and watching wrestling videos. I'm doing an interview and I'm live, so I can't answer.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for hopping on here, taking the time. I know that we've wanted to make this happen for a while. I've wanted to have you on. You mentioned how you wanted to be on, so I'm glad that we were able to make this come to fruition.
Yeah, it's another one of those things that the way it comes back around. I keep saying that, but that's literally the way it's been. I remember when I first saw one of your videos, had to be 2 years ago now at least. Like,
wow.
It's been a while. I remember like thinking it'd be cool one day to get an interview. Like I've seen a couple people tag me and like stuff where you've like posted stuff and they've like requested that I come around. And I figured that when the time was right, we would cross paths, and the time was perfect. And I appreciate you for letting me come on this platform and talk. I'm very, very grateful for you. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, big time.
No, thank you so much for the kind words. I'm glad to be able to make it happen. Everybody, this has been Chris Day. I'm the interview queen, Alicia Atout. Be sure to follow all of his updates. And when we get out of this crazy funk we're in, see him perform live, whether with Impact or any other show he's at. And check out aliciaatout.com for all exclusive interviews and features. We'll see you next time.